All right, let's get to the latest now on the Rust movie set shooting. Charges coming for actor and producer Alec Baldwin and the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins.
Before the end of this month, Santa Fe prosecutors will formally file 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter charges for Baldwin and armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed.
All right, a lot of people trying to play detective or attorney at home. Joining us now, real attorney, criminal defense attorney A. Scott Bolden. Always a pleasure, Scott. Good morning.
Good morning.
So let's get to the cinematographer or the armorer in a minute. Let's start with Alec Baldwin. The prosecutor in this case essentially came out and said somebody has to be held responsible for this. So is that where you start if you're defending him at this point?
Well, yeah, but I start with a motion to dismiss because whether it's an indictment or otherwise, it's hard to get your arms around the fact that Alec Baldwin was a producer and an actor, and was it within his duties and responsibilities to be held to a higher standard, or to check the bullets he had no expertise in, or to check whether the gun was operable or not. That's why he's been deflecting blame on the cinematographer as well as the armorer. And so this is a groundbreaking case if they can make it stick, but it's a fully defensible case because Alec Baldwin will argue not only did he not pull the trigger, but even the FBI's ballistics report and use of the weapon or testing of the weapon came back that gun could be fired without the trigger being pulled. Lots of issues to look at here, and lots of defense arguments and facts that would support his innocence.
You know, there's a third person in this. There's David Hall, who is the assistant director, and he's the one who, allegedly actually handed the gun to Alec Baldwin. And, there's conflicting reports about whether or not he actually stated that the gun was cold. But he made a plea deal. So how much does that factor into, will he testify against these two?
Yeah, without a doubt. Any deal would require complete cooperation from Hall. I don't see how Hall can hurt Alec Baldwin or the other defendant once they're charged, because either this gun had live ammunition in it or it didn't. And remember, the armorer has sued the gun manufacturer as well as the bullet maker already. I think that case is still pending. There's a lot of finger pointing, but in this particular case, is Alec Baldwin criminally liable? That is, involuntary manslaughter, that somehow he did something that would risk someone else's life in a criminal way. And it's just hard to get your arms around, because whether he fired the gun or not, the fact of the matter is was there live ammunition? I cannot think of one reason why a movie set would ever have live ammunition.
A lot of those fingers, Scott, are being pointed at the armorer. Do the prosecutors have a stronger case against her?
Probably, but she's going to deflect to the manufacturer. Everyone is going to be trying to correct their behavior or rethink what happened that day. This may have been a very negligent set. They may have played fast and loose, but the bottom line is, who had the criminal intent, right? The criminal intent to commit involuntary manslaughter. I mean, they're looking, because a gun was used, they're looking at up to 5 years in prison or a minimum of 1.5 years. Going to be a tough case for the prosecutor.
Wish we had more time, Scott. I had another question for you, but always appreciate your insight to this, and we'll all be watching and waiting.
Thank you. I'll be watching too.
All right,
Interesting
Jeanette.
case.
Yes, right, exactly.